So when you think about what Ukraine exports, you're probably thinking grain, maybe some steel, right? But what if I told you their most valuable new export is something you can't even put in a shipping container? It's knowledge, the kind that's forged in the fire of a real war. And where they're sending it, well, that might just be the biggest surprise of all. I mean, just think about how audacious this is for a second. While fighting for its own survival, Ukraine is sending some of its best and brightest military minds out of the country. Not to Europe, not next door, but thousands of miles away to the Middle East. It's a move that, on the surface, just doesn't seem to make any sense. At first. And that really gets to the heart of what we're digging into today. Why on earth would a country in the middle of a brutal war send its top experts to the Arabian Gulf? What could they possibly have that's so valuable? And, maybe more importantly, what are they getting in return? And get this isn't just some rumor. The details are really specific. We're talking about 3 separate, highly specialized teams that have been sent out. They're on the ground in some really key places: Qatar, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia. And they're even working out of a US base in Jordan. This is a coordinated, serious operation. Okay, so the why of it all comes down to a shared problem, a really dangerous one. The Gulf nations are dealing with a constant threat from Iranian-made kamikaze drones. You know, these things that just fly around and then crash right into their target. Now ask yourself, who in the world has more hands-on, daily experience fighting those exact drones than anyone else? Ukraine. That common threat is the bedrock of this whole deal. It really breaks down this simply. On one side, you have the problem, these swarms of Iranian kamikaze drones, and on the other, the solution, Ukraine's real-world battle-tested know-how in how to stop them. This isn't something you learn from a textbook. This is a direct pipeline of life-or-death information straight from an active war zone. And President Zelenskyy himself has been incredibly careful about how he's framed this. This quote is absolutely key. He's drawing a very thick, clear line in the sand. He's saying, look, this is about technical support, it's about defense strategies, it's not about sending Ukrainian soldiers to fight. He's walking a geopolitical tightrope by making it plain, we are not at war with Iran. So, at its core, this is a trade. Ukraine is offering up something that no amount of money can just buy off a shelf: proven, hard-won expertise against one of the biggest threats in modern warfare. And in return, they're getting the kind of support that is absolutely vital for their own fight back home. So what's in it for Ukraine? Well, it really comes down to 2 big things. First, the obvious one, money. Financial support is a lifeline. But the second piece is maybe even more interesting from a strategic point of view: technology transfer. Ukraine isn't just selling its knowledge, it's looking to get new tech in return. Things like advanced optics, electronic warfare systems, stuff they can then take, test, and use on their own front lines. It's a 2-way street. And this entire arrangement really pulls back the curtain on something much, much bigger. It shows that Ukraine has developed this entirely new and incredibly valuable form of currency. It isn't backed by gold, it's backed by conflict. It's the raw, undeniable value of experience. I mean, think about it. You can have the shiniest, most advanced military hardware on the planet. But if your soldiers have never used it while under actual fire, if your commanders haven't had to make impossible decisions in a split second, you don't really know what you have. Direct combat experience is the ultimate test. And in today's world, that's an asset that is worth a fortune. And this is exactly why Ukraine is suddenly in such high demand. They didn't choose to become world leaders in drone warfare. They were forced to. They've been battle-tested against the exact same Iranian drones now menacing the Gulf. They are a proven fighting army that gets real results. And here's the kicker. It's not just raw grit. It's experience that's been sharpened and refined with tons of Western support, creating this unique hybrid of battlefield smarts and high-tech capability. This is just a brilliant strategic move. It's like geopolitical jujitsu. President Zelenskyy is taking the single greatest challenge his country has ever faced, the war itself, and he's flipping it. He's turning it into his country's most valuable export. And in doing that, he's changing how the world sees Ukraine, not just as a recipient of aid, but as a provider of an essential security service. But this strategy isn't just about cutting a deal with a few countries in the Gulf. It's much bigger than that. This is a message, a very carefully crafted message aimed squarely at Ukraine's partners in Europe. What we're witnessing here is an evolution. This deal is a signal that Zelenskyy is moving from being just a wartime leader to a global strategist.
He's showing that he knows how to play his country's unique hand on the world stage, and he's using this deal to send a powerful message to Europe about Ukraine's real, tangible value.
And he put this whole strategy into one incredibly powerful sentence. He said, Europe needs two armies. One is Turkey, the other is Ukraine. Now, that's not just a nice bit of rhetoric. That is a bold, direct claim about his country's new place in the world. He's repositioning Ukraine as a vital pillar of security. And the subtext there is crystal clear. He's saying to leaders in Europe, look around. The world is getting more dangerous. You need us. His message is that a battle-hardened, experienced Ukrainian army isn't a burden for you to support. It's a critical part of your own security. Helping us isn't just charity. It's a strategic investment in your own future.
So this all leaves us with one big, lingering question. As the technology of war just keeps getting crazier, and the old rules seem to be changing, has direct, hard-won combat experience become the world's most powerful new currency? Right now, Ukraine is betting its entire future that the answer to that question is a resounding yes.